5 Navy bombers vanished over the Atlantic in broad daylight, and the man who sent them made one choice that sealed their fate. December 5, 1945, Fort Lauderdale Naval Air Station, Florida. Lieutenant Charles Taylor faced a decision that morning, one he didn't fully understand at the time. He'd been assigned to lead a routine training flight, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, 14 men total, on a simple navigational exercise. The route was standard. The weather forecast said clear skies. Taylor had logged 2 515 flight hours. By every metric, this was a milk run. What Taylor didn't know, his compass was malfunctioning. He wouldn't discover that for another 2 hours. At 2:10 p.m., Flight 19 launched into a cloudless sky. 4 young enlisted pilots followed him in tight formation, men in their 20s, trusting the senior officer's navigation. The flight plan was straightforward: fly east for 56 minutes, then north, then back west to base. A triangle, simple geometry. At 3:45 p.m., the radio crackled. Taylor's voice came through, uncertain. "I don't know where we are. We must have taken the wrong way after leaving Fort Lauderdale." The tower operator heard the strain in his tone. Taylor had crossed the Gulf Stream. His compass was spinning. The sun position didn't match his calculations. He was, in fact, hundreds of miles off course, but he didn't know it yet. The tower dispatcher, a man named Robert Cox, tried to help. But here's the trap. Cox couldn't see the planes. He had only radio contact, no radar, no GPS, no way to track them. He advised Taylor to fly west back toward Florida. But Taylor, trusting his faulty compass over the dispatcher's logic, rejected the guidance. It was a decision made under pressure with incomplete information. Both men believed they were right. 4:25 p.m., 2 hours into the flight, Taylor's voice crackled again, now edged with panic. "We are lost. We cannot find Fort Lauderdale. We have no idea where we are." The 5 planes were burning fuel at a rate of roughly 50 gallons per hour each. Together, that was 250 gallons an hour vanishing into thin air. Taylor had maybe 150 minutes of fuel left. The math was brutal and getting worse by the minute. The tower made a critical decision. They ordered a search and rescue flying boat, a PBM Mariner, to launch immediately. The Mariner carried 13 crew members. It was designed to land on water if needed. It had range, capacity, and rescue equipment. The Navy was now committing a 6th aircraft to save 5. No one knew this decision would cost them the rescue plane too. 5:50 p.m., the sun was setting. Flight 19 had been airborne for nearly 4 hours. Taylor made his final radio transmission: "We are running north and south." 13 minutes later, nothing, silence. The radio frequency went dead. 14 men in 5 bombers had vanished. The rescue Mariner, launched at 7:27 p.m., would never report back either. 13 more men gone. The Navy launched the largest air-sea search in history. Over the next 5 days, they deployed 240 aircraft and multiple ships. They searched 250,000 square miles of ocean. The cost, incalculable in fuel, man-hours, and resources. They found no wreckage, no bodies, no debris, not a single trace of Flight 19 or the rescue plane. It was as if all 6 aircraft had simply ceased to exist. The official Navy investigation concluded in 1946. Their verdict: Flight 19 was lost due to navigational error, a faulty compass, a senior pilot who made the wrong call under pressure, poor visibility, fuel exhaustion. The Mariner's disappearance remained unexplained, though theories ranged from mechanical failure to a fuel leak igniting during a water landing. The Navy classified parts of the investigation. Some documents remained sealed. But that's not how the public remembered it. Decades later, writers and researchers reframed Flight 19 as a supernatural mystery. The Bermuda Triangle narrative was born. Paranormal explanations eclipsed the mundane truth. 5 men followed their commanding officer into the unknown, trusting his judgment. When that judgment failed, based on faulty equipment and incomplete information, they paid with their lives. Charles Taylor was a competent pilot. He made a decision that morning to lead that flight with no knowledge of his compass failure. He made another decision at 3:45 p.m. to reject the tower's guidance and trust his instruments instead. Both were reasonable choices given what he knew at the time. Neither decision was foolish. Both were fatal. The Mariner's disappearance remains the true mystery. It was a larger, more robust aircraft than the Avengers. It had rescue equipment and trained crew, yet it vanished without a distress call. Some evidence suggests it may have exploded during a water landing. The Mariner's fuel system was known to be vulnerable, but the Navy never confirmed this. The file was closed. The case was filed away. What we know for certain: 27 men entered the Atlantic that day. None returned. Their families received letters of condolence. The Navy paid death benefits. Life moved on, but the questions never fully disappeared, not because of the Bermuda Triangle, but because of something simpler and more human: the weight of decisions made under pressure with incomplete data that end in total loss. The real story of Flight 19 isn't about supernatural forces or dimensional rifts. It's about navigation, trust, and the cascading consequences of a single faulty instrument. It's about a senior officer making the best call he could with the information available. And it's about how sometimes that's not enough. Today, Flight 19 sits at the bottom of the Atlantic. The wreckage was never recovered. The men were never found. Their names are recorded in Navy records, their sacrifice acknowledged in official documents that few ever read. The mystery endures not because of the Bermuda Triangle, but because the ocean doesn't always give up its secrets. Subscribe every week. We uncover the decisions that sealed maritime disasters and the truths buried beneath the legend.